channel. My name is Untitled. Today we'll be looking at creating commands, simple commands like polygon, circle, and rectangle, and also be looking at creating your viewport layouts on your layout tab, and also how to create a scale list so that you can be able to put your drawings in different scales apart from the default scale that is already in your AutoCAD layout page. Also, after that, we will be printing it in your A3 paper size that we have created in your template from your title block in AutoCAD tutorial part 2, and from there on you can be able to print it into PDF and give it to your client. And we'll continue on to our first step in our tutorial. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to begin with step number 1, simple commands, polygons, and mirroring for Autocad tutorial for beginners part 3. Using our template for our title blocks and our layers, we'll begin by creating our polygons. Okay, first we go to our drawing tab, we pick polygons. Okay, so we want to create a pentagon, so we say 5 sides, enter number of sides 5, specify the center of the polygon. In our case we won't be using center, we'll be using edge, as you can see in our command bar. So we'll type edge. Specify first edge, so you select anywhere on the screen where you want to place your polygon, so in my case that one, and then your distance for your polygon. So if I give you a tutorial or something and I say 20,000, you write 20,000, 30,000, 30,000 mils. If I say 20 mil, 20 mil. So in our case we'll say 30,000 mils. Okay, zoom all just to see how it looks. Okay, so you see our polygon, 5 sides with 30,000 dimension all around. Okay, second we'll learn how to draw a circle. So we go back to our drawing tab, circle, then we type, it says specify center point for circle, so we specify a center point anywhere on the screen. It says you can give any diameter, so remember it's in millimeters, so we also type 30,000 mils. Okay, so we have our circle and our pentagon. Okay, so if you check your diameter, select, my quick properties table is on, so it says radius is 30,000, diameter is 60,000, you have your circumference and your area, and that is there. So you can also change the layer to any layer that you want. Okay, okay, next thing we'll do is we'll use another command that you can also have. I've been teaching you guys all rectangle. Okay, rectangle too, you can also specify the dimensions. So you specify your first corner, then it says down here specify any other corner point or area dimension. Rectangle, so if I want to create a rectangle, I specify first corner, Then I type dimensions. So my length would be 200, and then my width would be 1000. So that's my rectangle specific, the second point. Okay, so that's 200 by 1000. So we'll check the dimensions. 200 by 1000. Okay, comments. Okay, now that we have our drawings, now we want to place it in our layout tab. Okay, next thing that we'll do is insert our viewport so that we can get our images to be in our title block. Okay, so we go to our view tab, we go to new, and it says displays a list of standard viewports configurations that can be stored in the current space, model or layout. Setup options for 2D, 3D views. Default views can be specified in model space. Viewport configuration can be saved by name. Okay, so the command is plus viewports. Okay, if you want to just type new viewport. Okay, so we go, it says active model configuration, which we don't want. Single, it says 2 vertical current. Okay, 2 horizontal, 3 right, 3 left, 3 above, 3 below, 3 vertically, 3 horizontally, and 4 equal viewports. Okay, so we'll create these 4 equal viewports first. Okay, it says viewport spacing between each other. Okay, we'll leave that for later. We don't need to add spacing. Okay, let's just try 20 mil spacing and see what will happen. Okay, and then say okay. Specify the first corner, so we'll specify the first corner that we want. The second corner would be somewhere here. Okay, so we have our 4 viewports. Okay, ready. Next thing that we'll do is we'll just erase this one because we do not need this one down here. Okay, so we go to home, erase, select object, erase. We've erased that one, and then we go on to scaling our objects, which is the next thing. Okay, next thing that we'll do now is zoom in. So what you do when you want to scale your viewports is you double click inside of your viewport. So if I move closely now, we'll double click, and I want to have the circle to be the one that's in this drawing here. Okay, so we use pen, so I'll go over it again. I want only the circle to be in my viewport, and this one here. So what we'll do now is make sure that the circle is in the center of my viewport. So we double click inside our viewport, and then we left click, we select pen, and we move it. Okay, so I'll start again. Double click inside once you have this one showing up. Now you left click, then you right click and you select pen. Make sure that your circle is right in the center of your viewport. Then you press left click again, you press exit, then you go and double click outside of your viewport. Okay, and then you make sure that your quick properties prompt is available or mode is on before you select your viewport. And there you can see your annotative scale and your standard scale. Our annotative scale, we won't be needing it because we right now do not have any annotation or annotative objects. So we use a standard scale and we say 1:100 first. Okay, it's not working. Then we go 1:40. Okay, the most important thing that you need to remember is that by default we have a scale list. Okay, if I click on my viewport, you'll see that viewport scale. Okay, so we have the scale to fit 1:50, 1:100, 2:1, 4:1, 8:1, 10:1, 100, and 1:1. Okay, so we go to customize. This is where we can add other scales into our scale list. By default, these are the ones that are given with your default template when you install. So by adding our scale list, we can add, we say 1:200 or 1:200. Okay, then we can add 1:1000, and then we say 1:1000 here. Drawing units, whatever your drawing units is, which is 1000 millimeter. Then we say okay. Okay, now that we have the scale list, we can be able to scale our circle. So we say okay. Okay, so in here we just pan our circle, make sure that it is the center, left click, exit, and then we go out, double click on the outside here, then we say 1:1000. There we have our circle as 1:1000. Next thing, now we look at our pentagon. Okay, so our pentagon will also be here. Okay, so we double click inside of our viewport, we pan to make sure that our pentagon is at the center of our viewport. We left click, then exit the pan command, then we double click on the outside of our viewport to come outside of it. Then we select our viewport, making sure that our properties table is on, quick properties table. From there now we go and customize and say 1:1000 also. You can also say 1:1000 for anything if you don't have any objects right now, and press escape. Okay, so as you can see, we have our pentagon. We just want to make sure that our circle is not inside of the drawing. Okay, so we just keep using pen to place our drawing right in the center. Okay, I don't want the circle to appear in my viewport, so use pen. Okay, next thing here, our rectangle, we do the same. So we double click inside of our double right click inside of our viewport, then we pan to our selected our rectangle. When we zoom and we select our window, bring it closer. Okay, this one now we double click on the outside again, and then we select our viewport, and we go and we select our scale. So we'll try 1:100 first. Okay, that's too big. We'll try 1:20. Yeah, 1:20 is okay. So here we have 1:1000, 1:1000, and 1:20. Okay, 1:1000, 1:1000. Okay, now we'll move on to our next step, which is printing out our plotting our or printing out our drawings. Okay, in our last step now, we'll be looking at printing our drawings. Okay, so we go to our layout tab one, then we left click, then you'll see plot, page setup, and all of this. So you go to plot, because we've already stated what our page will look like. It will be in A3 and will print Microsoft Print to PDF. Okay, so we go to preview, and then we already have our title block and also our drawings. Okay, stated because we have selected our layer for our viewport to be a layer that does not print. As you can see, the viewport layer is not printing, shown in our print here. Can you see that? Okay, so we go to the top tab and it says plot. We plot, and then you can save it to whatever file you want to save it. So we say file name CEB AutoCAD tutorial for AutoCAD tutorial for beginners, part 3. Okay, and then we save. So as you can see, our drawing has been printed. Okay, as you can see, our drawing has been printed. Okay, okay, inside of our title block. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next week for our next AutoCAD tutorial videos, and also other engineering, civil engineering tips and topics. Thank Okay, if you're curious to learn more, watch every Sunday for new videos. I will also be uploading a second video every midweek Wednesday starting in July for any structural tips and so on, geotech or civil engineering tips. I hope you all enjoy. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up or comment below.